Hi, do you like the internet? For me, it's how I make a living, and also sometimes interact with strangers who call me racist things like Brown Fabio or Sand. The internet has exposed us to many amazing things, like the capability to stream all 52 episodes of Naruto back to back on Netflix because I have no social life. Or watching porn because women are impossible to understand and because I have no social life. Or watching Game of Thrones, which is a show people like. The internet has also exposed us to many awful things like Viners. It's every day, bro. It's every day, bro. And Alex Jones. Or Tommy Lauren.
Well, there's help. Visit snowflakenomore.com.
And Viners, now on Instagram instead. Also, my Instagram is on the internet, at Asandi Piker. That's awful. But why am I talking about the internet? Because today is Net Neutrality Action Day, and this cringy asshat, originally tasked with protecting consumers, now wants to allow ISPs to hold internet speeds hostage in exchange for charging more money to websites.
Ajit Pai, why do you hate America? Skinny jeans, kale, the Raiders, people who say acronyms like BAE and claim to be woke. I mean, what more evidence do you need?
Ha 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 ha! OMG, Ajit, you're such a relatable millennial. It's almost like you don't want to make an already shitty internet experience even shittier just so that ISPs like Spectrum, Comcast, and Verizon can make more money. Also, Ajit, come for my friends, that's fine. But do not come for Woke Bay, and do not come for my internet. We will take you down. So what is net neutrality? Net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers should enable access to all content and applications without favoring or blocking particular products or websites. Seems like a pretty American concept, right? Do you know what country doesn't have net neutrality?
China. I have to have my China.
Because the internet today is effectively a utility, every bit as essential as water, gas, and electricity, but it isn't regulated like any of those services, despite making use of infrastructure and public land in a similar way. And it also sure sucks like the rest of those utilities as well. But imagine for a second if the company that supplies your electricity also makes, let's say, an electric juicer like the Juicero, the incredibly valuable $400 juicer for all your bourgeoisie juice needs. But since you didn't buy their brand, they lowered the voltage on your shitty off-brand, not $400 juicer, and now if you want your vitamins, you're gonna have to suck that thick slush out of a bag like a peasant. Now, if that seems ridiculous to you, wake the fuck up, because that's exactly what's going on here. This whole conversation began when Verizon started slowing down Netflix speeds when they decided, hey, we should start our own video streaming service. And those of us who wanted to watch the Cameron Dallas documentary weren't able to, and I literally can't think of a greater injustice than that, to be honest, in this cold, dark reality that we already live in. And ISPs that provide this vital and absolutely necessary service want to make more money by charging companies and websites more for access to what ISPs call faster internet lanes. Now, this is a problem because companies that can't pay for faster lanes will have slower service. And this is a problem for you specifically because it means you'll end up waiting more for certain websites to load, like your favorite alt-right blog that talks about how the government's turning frogs gay, or that internet merchant that sells you your brain pills that you desperately need. Which means that net neutrality is also a freedom of speech issue. Let's say I'm taking a figurative shit on Spectrum for being probably the most evil, worst company ever, and much like the rest of the intelligent, well-educated American public, they watch my videos and then they get offended. Without net neutrality, they could restrict TYT Network's speeds, and with an administration in power that describes the New York Times as fake news, no one's going to stop them. So how does it make you feel that someone you don't know, working for a company that you are only vaguely aware of, deciding the type of content you should be allowed to see?
Well, it also could be somebody sitting on their bed that weighs 400 pounds.
At this point, it's a known fact that slow loading times drive traffic away from sites. So if an ISP can artificially manipulate loading times, they can essentially use what amounts to monopoly power over the internet to influence human behavior and place artificial restrictions on that free market, which is something Republicans are supposed to hate, right? So no one really wants to see net neutrality eliminated, aside from the ISPs that also happen to be massive political donors, because this won't improve a single consumer's experience in any way. As a matter of fact, it'll make it much worse for those of us who like to use Farmers Connect to find love in this cold, postmodern, hopeless world. So I urge you to push back and fight to protect net neutrality, because this isn't really a partisan issue at all. After all you Reddit Donald loving 4chan alt-right Proud Boys are basically one step away from sticking your dick into the USB port to mainline into the grid. Now we have till July 17th to fight back on FCC's proposed plan to repeal current net neutrality legislation titled Restoring Internet Freedom. Now the easiest way to do that is by going to the website that John Oliver created at www.gofccyourself.com and leave comments that the FCC can see. While you're at it, please don't forget to like and share this video if you think net neutrality is a freedom that needs to be protected. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Hassan D. Piker. Don't forget to follow the Young Turks. And this has been The Breakdown.